Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Amber Serpent. My name is Gulveg. All right, if you've never joined me for a rune reading Wednesday before, we will take a look and see what the runes have to say about what it is that we need to know or do to serve our best and highest good for the next week. The runes are the alphabet of the Elder Futhark. They are associated with northern Scandinavia, and they are said to be the vibrations that were in the Great Void before planet Earth sprang to life. So the way I see it is that we are reading energy. So let's take a look and see what the energy has to say over that we need to know for the next week. So those of you who are watching this, just take a moment. Tap into your higher self, your soul. What is it that you need to know or do to serve your best and highest good over the next week? Take a look. All right, this is interesting. Got Rhino. Big movement, yo. Big movement. This could even mean that some folks are actually moving. We always like to see this one come up, especially starting off a rune reading like this. That's nice. We have Fehu, which is luck and wealth. It's all the good things. We have Ingwaz, which is potential, the sacred masculine. I already have some thoughts as to what might be coming through, but let's just, we pull two more times. Let's pull two more times. Keeping that same intention. Okay, we got a 4 for this time. We've got Kanaz, which is desire. It's known as the torch. Perthro, the great mystery, sacred feminine. And tribe, community, family. And we have reciprocation, gift giving, a gift for a gift. It's kind of hard to see that one. So it's an X. All right, one more time. We haven't seen this one in a while. Maybe there is a reason for that. But it's good that we're seeing it now. It's joy. Wunyo. And then we have Lagus, the hero's journey. And manifestation and vitality, vigor, Urus. So let's take a look and see how all of these energies, how they're dancing together. We had quite a few that came out this time around, so evidently they have a lot to say. So just give me a second, and I'm going to take a look and see how they are all communicating with one another. You know, I know this is a little cliche, but the overarching theme here is follow your bliss. And like I said, I know that's a little cliche. But I mean, really right out of the gate, we have movement. And when the cart comes out, it's big movement. So the whole enchilada is moving. This can also mean about spiritual movement as well. However, because we have Fehu that came out with it, this one is typically more associated with physical elements. So home, wealth, finances, even synchronistic luck might be part of this. So, and then we have the seed of potential that came out with it. So right out of the gate, I feel that the runes are asking us, what is it that you want to move towards? And the second pull, it definitely gives us some inclination as to how to answer that question for ourselves. We have desire. And Perth row, it said that whatever Perth row, the open end of this rune is facing, is what is being birthed. You could look at it as like a womb, so to speak. And what it is being birthed towards is tribe and community and reciprocation, a gift for a gift. And I know that one's like kind of hard to see because the thing is so light. So what is it that you desire? And are you getting a fair shake? Are you getting a fair shake? Are you getting a fair reciprocation with who you're connecting with? Are you saying yes when you really mean no? Is it difficult to maybe have boundaries? Because community can also be our job situation, those that we work with as well. So, especially when we've had a financial rune such as Fehu come up with it, for some of us, this might very well be an indication of our job. Is our job moving? Is our employment and opportunities, is our career shifting and changing? And what's really being birthed here is more reciprocation within our community. And this is especially, I think, a potent message for those of us who might have a predisposition to give more than we receive. I know that in a lot of circles of thought that this is an admirable trait. And although it can be very admirable to be selfless and very generous, if it is always a consistent give without receiving, then we know that we have gone over that boundary when we start resenting, when we start feeling like we are owed more. And that's usually because we haven't maybe asked for enough in return. So ask for what it is that you really want. The desire rune is saying, and it's the torch. So the desire rune is very interesting because I also look at it as giving clarity. So desire is one of those things that gets a little bit of a bad rep, I think. And the reason why I think it gets a little bit of a bad rep is because in a lot of spiritual traditions, desire is almost looked at as being an adversary that we need to overcome, that we need to conquer our desire. Well, if it wasn't for desire, you and I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for the desire of the sperm and the egg coming together, there would be no people. If it wasn't for the desire to for source to experience itself, the universe wouldn't exist. And if it wasn't for the desire to become a better version of ourselves and to seek peace, calm, and happiness, then no one would even go on a spiritual exploration at all. Desire is literally the thing that gets us off the couch. So although desire for desire's sake, when it runs in a chaotic way and it's not bridled in any way, desire can be something that can be very destructive, like a torch being allowed to just kind of, if the torch is not tended to, it will either go out or perhaps it could be misused in a way that could actually burn down the forest. However, when the torch is used in a way that is in alignment with where we want to go and it's focused, it gives clarity and it helps us see the path ahead. So where is your desire leading you? And when I mean desire, I don't mean the surface kind of distractions. The things that really it's just like, ooh, it lights you up. That's the desire we're talking about here. Like when you think about that potential of something happening, that desire, like, it just makes it, you can just feel how yummy that is, how fulfilling that is. You get excited. That's the kind of energy that we're looking for here. The other thing too, that with joy coming up, and as we go into the third rune pull that we had, the thing that's coming up for me around that is actually the opposite, which is grief. And my thought is that for a lot of us, life has gotten kind of heavy. Let's face it, for a lot of folks, life has been pretty heavy. A lot of folks are feeling overwhelmed. Maybe anxiety or depression has kind of weaved itself in. And with joy coming in, I think we're being called to wake our spirits up, to lift ourselves up. And with the community rune, also what's being asked is reach out for assistance, reach out for help. And it's okay to have that kind of reciprocation. If you're the one that's being asked to be of assistance, is there some sort of reciprocation that is needed? For example, if somebody's asking for assistance, do you need assistance in return? Could you both hold space for each other? Maybe a friendly ear to a friendly ear. So, community. Asking for community, asking for what it is that we need. I think that there has been a little bit of a type of conditioning that has happened inadvertently from all the quarantining and social distancing. It's almost like folks have kind of forgotten how to get out there and to socialize. So it's time to come out of our proverbial cave. And if you don't feel safe in doing so physically, at least get on the phone or get on line and connect with somebody who you love and care about. Because it's time to lift our hearts up, and it's time to get in connection again with our desire and to come out of the quarantine cave. And it's time to move. It's time to move towards what it is that you feel moved to go towards. What is it that's going to light you up enough to get off the couch? And that brings us to the hero's journey. That the hero's journey with Lagos, or the aspect of Lagos that's about the hero's journey, is one of the treasure that comes from going into the abyss. So the hero's journey is kind of like the Hobbit's tale, right, with Lord of the Rings, where there is a call to the journey. It's the Fool card in the tarot, where our hero leaves the place where that is comfortable and familiar into the unknown. And then he goes through trials and tribulations, and part of the trials and tribulations is going into this abyss. And then he has the whole journey back home, where he's gone into the abyss and now he has claimed his treasure, and he comes home with the treasure. More or less, this is the cycle of the hero's journey. And I think with Wunyo, joy, with the hero's journey, there is an indication that is part of the cycle that we're in right now. That for a lot of us, if we've been through a lot of challenges, especially over the last year and a half, that many of us have gone into that abyss type of thing. We went into the unknown, and now we're being asked to take the journey home. Take it home, yo. Take it home. And that joy is the treasure. Your desire and getting connected with what it is that will really light you up, that is the treasure. That many of us have changed. We've evolved. We're not the same people that we were a year ago. So maybe what it is that you desire and what gives you joy is different than it was. And that's okay. It's okay to redesign yourself. We've gone into Mercury retrograde now. So now is the time to reclaim, to redesign, to reanalyze, to revisit, to renew, recycle, repurpose, re. See a theme? This is all about going back to the drawing board. And so if there's aspects of you where it's just like, at one point in time, this worked. Maybe at one point in time, that job worked for me. Maybe at one point in time, these friendships served me. Maybe at one point in time, like the clothes that I wore, like suited me. But maybe it's time to just reanalyze and retake and redesign you. Maybe it's just like it's a spiritual makeover, and it's time to really get in touch with the community that will help support you in nurturing your desires and bringing you more joy. It's time to really nurture the heart. and get in contact with what the heart has to say. Let's get out of here and get into here. And that comes down to, and then when we've done that, right after the hero's journey, we're coming home, right? We're bringing home that treasure. And that's manifestation, folks. That's what manifestation is. It's coming. When we started this rune reading at the very beginning with the seed of potential, an idea, a spark, a flame, if you will, with Kanaz, the torch of the desire. And through nurturing that and around focusing on what will give us joy and having relationships that will give us the kind of reciprocation so that we can have energy to go the mile, to go the distance, we will see that little by little, pieces of this start aligning, synchronicities start happening, and we start manifesting. And at the end of the day, even if it's a slower process than what we would like, even if there's some frustration along the way, that following this recommendation from the runes will support our vitality. So even if the perfect job doesn't just fall out of the sky very, like that by focusing on your joy, even if it's not easy, at the end of the day, we're going to be healthier for it. So, that by itself is a treasure. Well-being, peace, calm, joy, that in of itself can be the treasure. So, that was a good one. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me here, and I look forward to seeing you back here next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.